Coming up today at 5, helpful hints on food label reading that will keep your heart healthy. Also, why men could soon be using Botox for more than wrinkles, and a new coffee drinking plan will have you motoring all day.
Plus, we have thunderstorms roll in, and I'll let you know when we'll see more.
Next at 5, a video posted on the internet shows the murder of an American civilian in Iraq, why his captors say they killed him, and how American lawmakers are reacting. Plus, a former altar boy files suit claiming he was abused by a one-time St. Louis priest, how he says it happened and why he's speaking out. And Botox isn't just for wrinkles anymore, why it could also help men with a painful problem. Next on News Channel 5 at 5.
This is News Channel 5 at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Ahead at 5, police investigate 3 separate shootings in St. Louis within a matter of hours.
Plus, why small sips of coffee all day might be more effective than a few cups in the morning.
But first, a look at the news rundown. A group claiming to work with al-Qaeda released a video on its website showing the murder of an American civilian. The group claims it's in retaliation for the abuse of Iraqi prisoners. The St. Louis School Board will sit down tonight and start its search for a superintendent once again. A live report coming up. Officials of the University of Missouri-Columbia released the NCAA's findings. The 19-page report details more than 40 violations. And later at 5, find out what trans fats are, why they're bad for your body, and which foods have them.
Now to our top story. A video posted today on the internet shows the beheading of an American civilian. The captors claim to be affiliated with al-Qaeda and say the killing is in retaliation for the abuse of Iraqi soldiers. NBC's Steve Handelsman has the latest.
The video was poor quality, but the doomed American's voice is audible. I'm Nick Berg, he says, from Philadelphia. The body of the 26-year-old civilian contractor was found Saturday in Baghdad. This video was released today by a radical Islamic website. The man in the middle is said to be Iraq's al-Qaeda commander, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. Before beheading Berg on camera, the terrorist leader claims the murder is in retaliation for the abuse of Iraqi prisoners. U.S. officials had warned that the prison scandal could cost U.S. lives in Iraq. Senators today called in General Antonio Taguba, who interviewed accused MPs and abused Iraqis.
How did this happen? Failure in leadership, sir, from the brigade commander on down. Lack of discipline, no training whatsoever, and no supervision.
Taguba says the abuse was the MP's idea.
We didn't find any order whatsoever, sir, written or otherwise, that directed them to do what they did.
Democrats don't buy it.
These attempts to extract information from prisoners by abusive and degrading methods were clearly planned and suggested by others.
But Pentagon officials deny that Iraqi prisons were run like Guantanamo Bay, where, with special permission, U.S. guards can hood and strip al-Qaeda prisoners to make them talk. But al-Qaeda has struck back in Iraq, even dressing Nick Berg in orange like the jumpsuits worn by Guantanamo detainees. Berg's parents say they knew their son was beheaded, but they say they cried when they learned the killers made a tape and put it on the internet.
There is growing sentiment up here to release the videos and the rest of the photographs of U.S. soldiers abusing Iraqi prisoners, to try to bring this crisis to a close and maybe save American lives. At the Capitol, I'm Steve Handelsman, News Channel 5.
And more on the death of the American contractor and the prisoner abuse in 30 minutes on NBC Nightly News.
St. Louis police believe a fight over a woman led to a murder. 2 men were arguing late last night near the 1100 block of North 9th Street, just north of downtown. One man shot the other in the head, killing him. The victim, 21-year-old Sean Scott, who lived near the scene. And just after that shooting, St. Louis police were called to the 4600 block of Enright. Another shooting. The victim there, a 25-year-old man. He is in serious and stable condition. And about an hour after those attacks, 2 people were shot in the 3100 block of Fair in North St. Louis. Police say those victims were standing in the street when a car pulled up. People in the vehicle started firing automatic weapons. One victim is hospitalized in critical condition. The other was treated and released. So far, no arrests for any of the shootings.
A second young person has died from Sunday's accident on Jeffco Boulevard in Arnold. 12-year-old Jordan Finley suffered massive head trauma. Her 17-year-old brother Zachary was driving Sunday night when he pulled into the path of an SUV. Zachary died at the scene. 3 other people were hurt. The search for a superintendent tops a crowded St. Louis school board agenda this evening. Yesterday, the only candidate, Dr. Rudy Crew, rejected the district's offer. Education reporter Sharon Stevens is live at Vashon High School, where the board will be meeting. Sharon?
Well, Kelly, School Board President Darnetta Clinkscale is expected to make a statement about resuming the superintendent search. Now, in their executive session, which takes place about 30 minutes from now, board members are expected to talk about naming a new interim superintendent, and that person will most likely be an administrator already employed by the district. Now, Rudy Crew is being courted by Miami, where he held a news conference last week, and Washington, D.C., and other cities are interested as well. School board members were clearly disappointed when he said no. Some even felt misled. And Mayor Francis Slay says he's confident the right person will be found.
I expect that they will, before it's all over, bring in a top quality superintendent to run the St. Louis public school system. Our kids deserve it.
Now, plenty of public comment is expected tonight, especially by some who see this as a botched search because there was only one candidate. Also, the board is expected to vote on a controversial change in transportation policy that could mean the loss of some bus drivers' jobs. We'll tell you all about it tonight at 6 and at 10. Reporting live from Vashon High School, I'm Sharon Stevens. Back to you.
A local minister today filed a lawsuit against the St. Louis Archdiocese and one of its priests. The suit involves Father Romano Ferraro, who was convicted in Massachusetts for sexually abusing a boy in the 1970s. SNAP, the survivors network of those abused by priests, says Ferraro was sent to St. Louis after he was accused of sexual assault in Massachusetts. Non-denominational minister Tim Barton says he was abused as a boy after meeting Father Ferraro at St. Joan of Arc Parish and School.
I'm filing first and foremost to support other victims, the John Doe cases, and possibly countless other people that I may even know that may have been victims of Father Romano. And I would like also to see justice and some accountability served within the church for covering up these horrible events.
This is the second lawsuit involving Father Ferraro that the Archdiocese is facing. An Archdiocese spokesman says he can't comment on a pending lawsuit, but he does urge anyone who may have been abused by Ferraro to contact the Archdiocese or the Circuit Attorney's Office. Well, it's a sports investigation that's made headlines and newscasts for nearly 8 months.
Today, the NCAA came out with a long list of allegations against the University of Missouri. News Channel 5's Frank Cusimano was at the announcement in Columbia. Frank?
Well, we've talked about it for a long time, and we'll be talking about it till it ends sometime in the fall. The report was 19 pages long from the NCAA with about 40 allegations of wrongdoing. Today at Reynolds Alumni Center, Chancellor Richard Wallace, Athletic Director Mike Alden, head basketball coach Quinn Snyder, Mike Devaney, a professor at Mizzou who headed the investigation, and President Elson Floyd were on hand to discuss the report with the media. The athletic department was cleared of academic fraud charges, but there is one major allegation: a coach paying a Tiger player $250. Quinn Snyder was simply apologetic for the wrongdoings of his program.
I recognize that the mistakes have been made in the operation of our basketball program. And I stand or sit before you here today and once again take full responsibility for the commission of those mistakes. Additionally, this has not been a pleasant experience for our fans and for our alumni and for the people that support our university. And for that, I'd like to offer my apology. I don't think there's any other way to express that other than to say that I'm sorry for the fact that people have had to go through this.
So the game plan for Mizzou is this: respond to the allegations by July 1st. The NCAA Infraction Committee reviews Mizzou's response on August 13th, and sometime in the fall, the penalties will be handed down. The interesting item will be how much Mizzou fights the NCAA on the allegations. Sometimes if a school chooses to contest too much, the penalty would be more harsh. However, if Mizzou feels the allegations are completely false, they have to fight it.
Any idea what those penalties could be?
Well, right now it doesn't look to be real serious. Maybe a loss of scholarships, maybe a limited recruiting time, but it doesn't look like it's going to be any type of postseason ban.
Okay. Thanks.
All righty.
Well, you could not miss a rumble of thunder today as storms popped up across St. Louis. Chief Meteorologist Cindy Pressler says we can expect more of the same tomorrow. Cindy, how long is this going to go on?
Well, for the next couple of days, we're going to see these scattered and isolated showers and thunderstorms, and this is just due to the daytime heating. Now, Chopper 5 was up in the sky this afternoon and happened to catch this thunderstorm as it was moving over downtown St. Louis. We picked up a quarter of an inch of rain, a little bit of lightning with it, but very heavy downpours, and that's what these isolated thunderstorms are like. Check out our Doppler 5 storm path radar. Right now, we're watching a storm to our south, this one over Iron, Madison, and Reynolds County. So Bellevue, Ironton, Roselle, all of these areas are going to be picking up some rain, possibly some small hail with these thunderstorms as well. They will die off once the sun sets. Let's go back and take a look at the wider view, the bi-state view. You can see we've got mostly sunny skies here in St. Louis, but with that line moving to the north-northeast, we still have a chance to see an isolated thunder shower this evening. Right now, it's 84, actually 85 degrees at this hour. 80 degrees in Kansas City, 81 in Moline, so lots of heat available, lots of moisture out there. If you're coming downtown for the game tonight, temperatures will be nice and mild, but keep in mind, we could see an isolated thunderstorm. And coming up in just a little bit, we're talking about an increased chance for rain by the end of the week, and of course, that all-important bark in the park forecast in just a bit. Karen and Kelly?
Thank you, Cindy. While the war in Iraq commands the headlines, the war from 30-plus years ago still haunts some veterans. News Channel 5's Mike Owens has details about a reminder of the Vietnam War, which is in St. Louis tonight. Mike?
Kelly, that reminder, a huge replica of the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. It came into St. Louis aboard a tractor trailer with a motorcycle escort. From the air, the motorcycles ridden by Vietnam War veterans buzz around the tractor trailer ring. It's an escort to honor the memories of the thousands who died in Vietnam.
To honor the guys that died in Vietnam. It's a pretty good reason, isn't it? Yeah, as good as any. All 58,500 and something of them. I couldn't think of a better reason.
The cyclists are members of a Kirkwood motorcycle club. They all use their road names while cycling and interviewing. Sandman wears his Vietnam colors proudly. He served and spent 17 months in the hospital with war wounds.
The country is now beginning to honor the Vietnam vet, long overdue. It's amazing, though, how many people, when I'm wearing my colors that say Vietnam vet, will come up and thank us for our service now, some 30 years later.
The replica on the truck is fake granite on sheets of plywood. Here's the memorial the last time it came to St. Louis about 2 years ago. Promoters and onlookers say it is a moving tribute, adding that in some cities, it actually helps some veterans mourn the loss of their comrades.
And it's the closest thing to the one in Washington that I've seen.
It's a replica, but the effect is the same. It's a healing process and a time to give tribute to our veterans.
Krause's company and Dignity Memorials, a national funeral service company, are covering the cost of the traveling wall. It will be erected for viewing on Friday and Saturday at Lee May Park. Opening ceremonies will be Friday at 10 a.m. Lee May Park is just south of the city limits on Lee May Ferry Road at Military Road. Kelly? Karen?
Thanks, Mike. Next at 5, why Botox may not only be for women and wrinkles anymore.
Plus, what are trans fats? How do they hurt your heart? And how to avoid them without ever reading a label.
And if you want caffeine to keep you awake, a large cup of coffee may not be the best medicine. Find out why next on News Channel 5 at 5.
She's smart, powerful, and sexy.
I love being single.
Who is this new single woman in St. Louis and why she's here to stay?
I have other things to fall back on in my life, which are just as important to me.
After ER, Thursday on News Channel 5 at 10.
Tomorrow morning, we'll talk with the former Iraqi POW about her mission to help kids.
And I'll show you a new fitness craze. It's cycling with an attitude.
It could turn out to be a perfect weekend for barbecuing. We'll have the forecast for you.
Tomorrow on Today in St. Louis, beginning at 5 a.m.
As of January 1st, 2006, all food makers will be required to list the amount of trans fats on their product labels.
The government ordered the change after finding trans fats can raise bad cholesterol and contribute to heart disease. Tonight on Ask the Doctor, News Channel 5's Kay Quinn shows us tips on how to limit these fats even before the new label law goes into effect. Kay?
Well, Kelly and Karen, you don't want to cut them from your diet completely, but by learning a few tricks, it's easy to lower the amount of trans fats you're eating without even looking at a label. Some food makers are already doing it, labeling their products as trans fat free. Trans fat is formed when liquid oils are made into solid fats like shortening and hard margarine. In fact, that's your first rule of thumb. The softer a spread, the lower the amount of trans fat.
For example, a stick of margarine has significantly more trans fat than a margarine-based spray or spread.
And some spreads, like Benecol, are actually heart healthy. They can lower cholesterol by blocking its absorption in the bowel.
Unfortunately, when you use something like this, it's almost like a medicine. You have to take it and use it every day in order for it to work, so you stop the cholesterol from being absorbed.
Other foods likely high in trans fat, fried foods, baked goods, cookies, crackers, and snack foods. Limit those and look at the fat content on food labels. Those with a daily value around 5% are low and more heart healthy than those with a daily value of 20%, which is high.
Be very conscious of what's on the labels. The labels will really help you out.
Good rule of thumb, any food with a label that includes the words partially hydrogenated probably has trans fat in it. For more on trans fat or to email a health question you'd like us to answer on the air, visit our website at ksdk.com and click on the Ask the Doctor icon. In other health news tonight, the best way to stay awake might be to drink coffee in small sips all day long. Researchers wanted the 16 men in the study to stay awake for 28 hours straight to simulate jet lag or a long work schedule. Those who got about 2 ounces of coffee every hour stayed awake longer and performed better on tests than those who got placebo. Both groups slept about 14 hours after staying awake so long. Botox could soon be doing more than just easing wrinkles. A small study found Botox helped shrink enlarged prostate glands. Symptoms were relieved within a week of the injection. Researchers believe Botox could be an alternative to prostate surgery, but they warn Botox is not approved for prostate use and is not covered by insurance. Karen and Kelly.
Thanks, Kay. Thousands of sport utility vehicles and pickup trucks need to go back to the shop.
Next at 5, why Dodge is recalling 300,000 vehicles, and find out if yours is one of them. 320,000 Dodge trucks built in 2002 and 2003 need to go back to the dealer. Dodge Durango SUVs are being recalled because of windshield wiper problems. The company says the wipers can corrode and eventually quit working. Dodge Dakota pickup trucks are being recalled because they have the wrong vehicle certification labels. Again, the recalls affect all Dodge Dakotas and Durangos made between 2002 and 2003. Owners will be notified by mail.
Well, Cindy, hopefully all the showers will be out of the way for the weekend, because you have 2 guests joining you tonight for an important event this weekend, right?
Yes, I sure do. And if I can get Mike to pan down here, because we have a very special guest. This is Wilma, the Bark in the Park mascot. It's going to be happening this Saturday, early morning, beginning at 8 a.m. And Wilma, if Wilma would turn around and look into the camera, she's enjoying a nice little belly scratch right now. Jean, that's okay. Wilma is very special because you can see Wilma only has one eye. Look at that. Wilma is about 18 months old, and she's going to be leading the walk starting at noon this Saturday. Bark in the Park, I'll be there with you, and Jean, I'm sure you're going to be there too. We've got beautiful T-shirts if you want to come on out. It's a lot of fun. And now let's take a look at what the weather forecast has for us this Saturday. As a matter of fact, we're expecting partly cloudy skies. There's a very slight chance for a shower coming up early Saturday morning, but I think that's going to be just fine. Temperatures will be a little bit on the mild side, a little on the cool side, as a matter of fact, 62 to 70 degrees, but I think everything is going to be just fine. Lots of activities at Queenie Park, so come on out and enjoy. But this evening we have a baseball game. We're expecting partly cloudy skies here in St. Louis. We do have some isolated showers and thunderstorms developing well to the south. Temperatures also nice, 82 to 75 degrees. This should be a good game with the Braves, so support those Cards tonight. Showers and thunderstorms isolated, developing across Iron, Reynolds, moving into Madison County, and if this storm holds together, it will move toward the Farmington area. This is an isolated storm. Some heavy downpours, possibly some small hail with this storm, but not expected to be severe. Temperatures, boy, made it into the mid-80s today. Currently 85 degrees at St. Charles. It's 80 in Rolla. Farmington 81, 84 degrees in Belleville. Some locations did pick up some rain. As a matter of fact, in the Lambert area, we picked up no rain, but downtown, 1/4 of an inch. So it just depends on where your backyard is. Look at all these showers and thunderstorms spread throughout the southeast. The Gulf of Mexico is wide open for business. A lot of moisture coming north, so that's why we're getting these popcorn. We call them popcorn thunderstorms. Tomorrow afternoon will be the same type of situation because it is no front that is coming in just yet. We have to wait on that front to come in by Thursday into Friday. That will be our best chance to pick up showers and thunderstorms here in the St. Louis area, and possibly severe. Currently now at Lambert, we've got mostly sunny skies. The temperature's gone back up to 85 degrees. Humidity 47%. The dew point 63 degrees. It's juicy. Winds out of the south at 16. Pressure is falling. High today was 86 degrees. Low this morning was 67, and no precipitation officially at Lambert. Tonight's temperatures and lows. Here's your forecast. It'll have an isolated thunderstorm possible. Most people will stay dry. 67 degrees that low with a south wind. Tomorrow's highs into the lower 80s, and again by the afternoon we'll have a chance for showers and thunderstorms. They will be isolated but more widely scattered throughout the area. Thursday, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms, and Friday definitely, because that front is finally coming through. Saturday and Sunday at this point looks great. Temperatures in the 70s and dry. Karen and Kelly?
Thanks, Cindy. And Sports Director Randy Knott is here with more on the Mizzou investigation.
In a way, you could say the storm kind of blew right over Columbia in this case. The Mizzou Tigers are indeed breathing a sigh of relief. More from Columbia coming up. Plus, the Cardinals are back home. Up next, we'll hear from Jim Edmonds about the importance of getting on a roll.
Later, a 3-run bomb.
The Missouri basketball program has dodged a big one. The NCAA says Mizzou violated a multitude of rules, but if the Tigers are penalized, they probably will only lose scholarships or recruiting privileges. It could have been worse. Mizzou officials faced the media today in Columbia and reacted to a 19-page notice from the NCAA about the allegations. It was compiled from an 8-month investigation and points to infractions committed from 1999 through 2003. The school isn't passing things off lightly.
We are deeply concerned by the allegations that have been made. We are focusing our undivided attention upon resolving them, and we're determined to take advantage of this very difficult situation to improve our men's basketball program.
Football players at the University of Colorado won't be facing allegations of sexual assault in court. The state's attorney general has decided not to file charges because of concerns about the evidence and the reluctance of the accusers. A task force decided unanimously not to proceed with the matter. Meanwhile, in Eagle, Colorado, Laker Kobe Bryant was in front of a judge.
How do you plead? Not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty.
Plea of not guilty will be entered. The court has
Kobe Bryant entering a plea of not guilty in a sexual assault case. If convicted of the charges, Bryant could receive a life sentence. A trial date has not been set. After spending the day in court, Bryant is expected to be on the basketball court tonight for Game 4 of the Lakers playoff series against San Antonio. The Cardinals are back home tonight against the Atlanta Braves. The Cards need to get on a roll. They haven't won back-to-back games since the 29th and 30th of April and are just one game over 500. Jim Edmonds helped them lead them to victory in last Sunday's game against Montreal with a 6th home run of the season. He knows they've got to be consistent.
So Edmonds and Pujols.
We're going to have to do it eventually. I mean, if we want to contend in this league, we're going to have to play better when we're playing. So we need to figure it out, whether we're home or on the road, and play better baseball.
We'll have much more of the game coming up on News Channel 5 Sports at 6 o'clock. We'll also hear from J.D. Drew, the former Cardinal, finally getting a chance to play his old team, Karen.
Okay, thanks. And here's Mike Bush now with a look at what's ahead on News Channel 5 coming up. Mike?
Karen, hearings on the possible closure of Scott Air Force Base are set to begin next year, but the base could be granted a short reprieve. Details at 6 and at 10.
I can get along as well as the next guy.
He lost his leg in an accident, but he refuses to call himself handicapped. We'll show you how high-tech help from Boeing changed his life and the lives of many other amputees. Join us tonight for News Channel 5 at 6 and 10.
See you then. NBC Nightly News is coming up next, and we'll be back with News Channel 5 at 6.
And today we salute the students at Sorrento Springs Elementary in Baldwin. They're second graders in Ms. Owens' class.